Right now, in 2026, the top 1% of people on this planet own more wealth than the bottom 90% combined. Let that sit for a second. But here's the part nobody is talking about. The gap is not growing because rich people are greedy. It is not growing because the system is rigged against you. The gap is growing because the wealthy changed their entire financial strategy about 5 years ago. Quietly. Without a press release. Without a news segment. You have been playing by a rulebook that expired. Following advice built for a world that no longer exists. Saving the way your parents saved. Investing the way your parents invested. Planning the way your parents planned. And wondering, in the back of your mind, why it feels like no matter how hard you work, you are not actually getting ahead. This is the 2026 Money Blueprint. Everything in it is already happening, with or without you. Let me tell you about the world the old financial advice was built for. It was built for a world where inflation was low and predictable, where you could put money in a savings account and it would actually grow in real terms, where a 40-year career at one company was not just possible but expected, and the pension at the end of it meant you could stop working and actually live. That world is gone. Inflation in most major economies has spent the last several years running hotter than the interest your savings account will ever pay you. Meaning every year you save money in a bank, your money quietly loses purchasing power. You are not building wealth. You are slowly going backwards in a vehicle that feels like it is standing still. Artificial intelligence is not coming for jobs in some distant science fiction future. It is restructuring entire industries right now, in real time. In 2026, entire professional categories are being compressed or eliminated not because people are being lazy, but because the technology has gotten genuinely, startlingly good. And the property ladder. In most major cities across the world, first-time buyers are not just struggling to get on the ladder, they are being permanently priced off it. The dream of owning a home as your primary wealth-building vehicle has become mathematically out of reach for an entire generation. Traditional financial advice, save 10%, invest in index funds, buy a house, retire at 65, was not bad advice. It was the right advice for the right era. The problem is that era ended, and most people are still following the manual. The wealthy know this. They figured it out years ago, looked at the landscape honestly, and changed course. They did not panic. They did not complain. They adapted, and the distance between them and everyone else has been compounding ever since. The middle class is still following a map. The wealthy quietly switched to GPS. So what are they actually doing? Not what they say in interviews. Not what the financial media covers. What is actually happening inside the portfolios, the LLCs, the private meetings of people who are genuinely building and protecting wealth in 2026? Let me walk you through it. The first move is this. They are buying cash-flowing assets, not saving cash. Here is the most important distinction in personal finance that almost nobody teaches you. There is a fundamental difference between saving money and deploying money. Saving money means putting it somewhere it sits, slowly losing value to inflation. Deploying money means putting it to work in something that generates income on its own. Think of it this way. If you put $100,000 in a savings account, that money will earn you maybe 3 or 4% interest in a good year. Meanwhile, inflation might be running at 5 or 6. You are losing ground. Slowly. Quietly. Now take that same $100,000 and put it into a rental property, or a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks, or a private lending arrangement with a local business owner, or a royalty stream attached to a piece of intellectual property. Now that money is generating income. Cash that comes in monthly whether you show up to work or not. The wealthy are obsessed with this. They are not trying to accumulate a big number in an account. They are building machines that generate money. The second move is one that will make many people uncomfortable because it breaks one of the core financial rules most of us were raised with. They are using debt as a wealth tool. Not avoiding it, using it. Most of us were taught that debt is the enemy. Pay off your credit cards. Get out of your mortgage early. Never borrow what you do not need. That is actually excellent advice for bad debt. High-interest consumer debt, car loans, credit card balances. Genuinely, avoid those. But the wealthy operate with a completely different relationship to good debt. Here is how it works in plain English. You own an asset. Let us say a piece of real estate worth $1 million. You go to a bank and borrow against that asset at a low interest rate, say 4%. You take that borrowed capital and deploy it into an investment returning 12% annually. You are earning 12 and paying 4. The spread, that 8%, is pure wealth creation using the bank's money. This is not theoretical. This is happening on a massive scale right now. The wealthy borrow against things they own to build more of what they own. Meanwhile, most ordinary people are trying to pay down debt as fast as possible, which is not a wealth-building strategy. It is a debt management strategy. There is a difference. The fourth move is one the wealthy have always understood but is more urgent than ever right now. They are building multiple income streams, aggressively, deliberately, and simultaneously. Here is the brutal truth about having one income stream in 2026. You are one bad decision by your employer, one economic shock, one industry disruption away from your entire financial world collapsing. One income stream is not stability. In the current environment, one income stream is the riskiest financial position a person can be in. The wealthy typically operate with earned income from their primary work or business, portfolio income from investments, passive income from assets like real estate, royalty income from intellectual property or licensing, and business income from ventures they may or may not be actively running. Not all of these at once from the start, but the deliberate, patient construction of multiple streams over time. When one slows down, the others keep flowing. None of these moves require being wealthy to start. They require thinking wealthy to start, and that costs nothing. Here is the thing about financial windows. They open, and they close. And the people who move when they are open build extraordinary things. And the people who wait until everyone knows about them find the returns have already been priced in. Right now, in 2026, there are specific opportunities that are still early enough for an ordinary person to walk through. Not theories. Actual openings. The first is the AI skills gap. There is a massive, urgent, completely unmet need right now for people who can take AI tools and actually implement them inside real businesses. Not build AI, not code models. Simply understand what the tools can do and help a dental practice or a law firm or a restaurant chain or a logistics company actually use them. Businesses are desperate for this. And the gap between what the tools can do and what most businesses have actually implemented is enormous. That gap is a wealth opportunity. The second window is one almost nobody is talking about. Baby boomers own an enormous number of small businesses in every economy in the world. And they are retiring. Right now, in massive numbers. Every generation gets a window. A moment when the landscape is shifting fast enough that an ordinary person can position themselves ahead of the curve. This is that window. But windows close. I am going to give you 90 days. Not a lifetime, not 10 years. 90 days of specific, sequential action that puts you on a completely different financial trajectory. Not wealthy in 90 days. That is not how this works, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. But pointed in the right direction, with the right foundations, moving with intention for the first time. Month 1. Financial audit. Before you can build, you need to know exactly what you are working with. What do you earn? Not gross, net. What do you spend? Not roughly, exactly. What do you owe? Total debt, interest rate on each, minimum payments. What do you own? Assets, their value, what they cost to maintain. Month 2. Build your first outside income stream. It does not need to be $5,000 a month. $500 changes your psychology completely. Also in month 2, identify the one high-value skill the 2026 economy is paying a premium for that you could realistically learn. AI implementation. Data analysis. Copywriting for technical products. Financial modeling. Private lending evaluation. Month 3. Make your first investment, even small. $50 in a dividend-paying index fund. $100 in a fractional share of an asset you have researched. The amount does not matter yet. The habit matters enormously. Because the person who invests $50 a month will eventually invest $5,000. And the person who never starts, never will. 90 days from now, you will either be in the same position or a different one. The blueprint exists. The only variable is you. Let me pull back for a moment. The wealth gap is not destiny. It is information applied over time. That is all it is. They simply know things most people were never taught. And they act on those things. Consistently. Daily. Over years and decades, the compounding effect of that informed action creates an outcome that looks, from the outside, like luck or talent or unfair advantage. But it is none of those things. It is information, applied consistently, over time. The reason the gap has been widening is not because the wealthy found some new cheat code. It is because the rules of the game changed and they noticed and most people did not. That is fixable. Right now. Today. With the decision to stop playing by rules that no longer apply and start building with the understanding of how the game actually works in 2026. Because you know now. The 2026 Money Blueprint is not a secret. It never was. It was just never put in front of you. Until now.